Hello, it's Roland again, hello. Well, things have changed a bit since I was speaking to you the last time, about the old doll, yeah. Well, I went down there and, well, basically I've had to get a job, right? So it's all been a bit sort of awkward because, I didn't want to go down the factory. But anyway, I've done it. I've had to go down the factory. So I'm working in the domino factory in the town. I have to get a bus down there. And it's all right, I suppose. I mean, I'm on the packing. I pack the dominoes. I mean, I was on the assembling the boxes, which was quite tricky. I didn't like that really because I kept getting glue on my fingers and all the skin was coming off, and I said to the woman, the boss woman that runs it, no, I can't be doing with this, my fingers all raw, so she's put me on the pack-in, and then what I'm doing is I'm doing the 5s and the 3s, okay? So what you've got the 5 at the top and the 3 at the bottom. Well, depends on which way you're holding it up. But anyway, that's my job, is to, as they go by on the conveyor belt, right, the little black things with the white dots on, I got to pick out the 5s and the 3s, put them in a box, then pass the box on to the bloke next door to me, Alan. He's quite nice, Alan. He's about 70, something like that. He said he's just doing it for a bit of pin money, but his fingers are really red. Yeah, he said he was doing the gluing and he kept forgetting, and because he picks his nose a bit, so he's got a bit of a red nose because he kept putting his fingers up his nose. But anyway, so, I've been doing this, but, on these packing lines, you get quite mesmerised by it all, these dots going by all day, for 8 hours. These white dots, you start to see them in front of your eyes, and also, you've got your mind on other things, maybe your dinner later, or, what you're going to be doing or watching on the television, or something like that. And it was amazing because I swallowed one. I actually swallowed a domino. I did. I swallowed a domino. I don't know how I got it in my mouth, even. I suppose, I've been thinking about it. I suppose I thought, well, maybe it's like a little sweetie or something, like a licorice all sort, and I just put it in my mouth, and before I knew where I was, I'd swallowed it. And it had gone right down, okay, which causes quite a lot of problems because it got stuck here, in the old throat, Oh, it's my neighbour again. Here she goes. She'll be going to the old toilet. You'll hear it flushing in a minute. I think, I said to you earlier, I think she's got a weak bladder or something. Anyway, she'll slam the door in a minute as well. I don't get any peace here, not a bit of peace. I'm up all night. I'm always going to the door and saying, shut up. Anyway, so I swallowed one, right, and it didn't go down. No, it didn't go down and through. No, it got jammed like that way, across in my sarcophagus here. It got jammed, and I couldn't speak. I thought I'm going to go blue, I'm going to go as blue as this jumper, Anyway, I didn't go blue, but I managed to call over the manager at the time, and I was pointing at my throat, and he went, oh, I know, you've swallowed one. Oh, they're always doing that here, people swallowing dominoes. So he said, you better go home. So I left the factory. I had to get on the bus, right? I couldn't speak. I was like this, trying to get a ticket, and nobody comes to your help, when you need them. Everybody was looking at me like I was a loony, and I was thinking, if you knew what was stuck in my throat, you would be helping me, Anyway, so I goes home, thinking, what am I going to do? The boss woman had said, go down the doctors. Well, what is the point in going down the doctors? You're queuing, you can't get to see them. You're queuing for hours and hours, and I thought I could die here. So anyway, I rang the NHS direct because I got a mobile phone. So I phoned them, and of course she couldn't understand me, the woman at the other end, because I was going, like this, you see. I'll choke it now because I'm doing it for you. I'll just have a drink of tea. And anyway, I eventually got through to her, and she's on the old computer, tapping away, and she said to me, well, there's nothing down here about getting dominoes stuck in your throat. You'll have to go to your GP. And she said, I think you should go pretty quick. Well, I got a bit panicked, so I didn't know what to do. I couldn't get back on the bus, so I got a cab, and that cost me a tenner. And I went up into the town, and I saw my GP after waiting for like 3 hours. Well, by the time I saw my GP, I'd swallowed it. It had gone through, it had gone down into my stomach, I suppose. Well, anyway, I went in, and my GP said, "Oh, that is a bit worrying, you know, you swallowing dominoes because they're toxic." Well, I got a bit panicked, I'll tell you, I got a bit panicked. Because I noticed that, you know, when I'd been pecking and my fingers was going a bit black, you know. So anyway, I thought, well, this is no good. So she gave me something to swallow, you know, like lozenges, you know, take off the soreness. Went back to work the next day, said to the woman, you know, who owns the factory, I actually went to her through the manager. She's a little Chinese woman from Hong Kong or something. She come over here, she set up the factory, you know, and we just packed these dominoes. And as I said to her, I said, well, I told my doctor it should say on the boxes, you know, that they're toxic. Well, she got a bit uppity. She said, what do you mean? I'm not packing no toxic things. Don't you go telling people my dominoes are toxic? And I thought, oh my goodness, you know, I didn't want to lose my job nor nothing because I actually like the money. I don't like the job, but, you know, the money is quite handy because it allows me to do my art and stuff in the evenings. Anyway, she said to me, yeah, don't you get out of hand or I'll be sacking you. And I said, well, I don't have no insurance, no nothing. She said, what are you talking about, insurance? You're on £2.75 an hour. What are you complaining about? And I thought, yeah, but I can't afford all this stuff she walks around in. You should see her car. She drives home in. It's got, you know, the roof comes down, you know. She wears very expensive shoes. I know, I've seen them. When she took them off, I could see what was written inside. Because she's always walking around in her bare feet. Because she says it's better for the posture, you know. Anyway, so I you know, I got very upset about all this. But anyway, I'm working, and that is a good thing, you know, because I can carry on with my art, you know, which is not a bad thing, really, is it? Anyway, I think I'm going to make myself another cup of tea because my throat is still a bit sore. That's gone a bit